system design concepts, part 4. Embedded firmware design approaches. Embedded firmware design approaches dependent on the complexity of the functions to be performed, the speed of operation required, etc. Two basic approaches are conventional procedural based firmware design, embedded operating system based design. Conventional procedural based firmware design is also known as superloop based approach. Embedded applications which are not time critical, that means response time is not so important, come under this category. In superloop based approach, code is executed task by task. That means first task is executed first and then it comes to the execution of the second task and it completes the execution of the second task and the flow goes like this. Here the execution is procedural in nature. That means there will be a set of tasks and inside a task another task can be called or the same task can be called. This is procedural in nature. Firmware execution flow. There are various steps in the firmware execution flow. First is configure the common parameter and perform initialization of memory and registers of hardware components used. Second step, start the first task and complete its execution. Third step, execute the second task. Fourth step, execute the next task. So the execution goes task by task. Execute the last defined task and then go back to the first task and repeat this process infinitely. Consider the C programming code. Void main, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Configurations. In configurations, define the necessary parameters. Initializations. In initializations, initialize the memory and registers. While loop. In while loop, the condition is 1. That means this task will execute infinitely. Inside while loop, all the tasks are written. First task 1 is executed, then task 2 is executed, then this sequence continues until task n execution and again it will go back to task 1. So this process repeats infinitely. All the task execution sequence is fixed and these tasks are hard-coded in the code. And this operation happens in infinite loop. Consider the processor is stuck in any one of the tasks. To make the processor come out of that task, we use two methods. One is hardware reset and another one is interrupt assertion. Consider the processor is stuck in any one of the tasks. Hardware reset is used to make the processor come out of the loop. Interrupt assertion. Consider one task is executing and interrupt occurs. The execution goes to the interrupt service routine and it will execute the interrupt service routine and it will come back to the point where it had left. Here there are drawbacks. One drawback is whenever the processor is stuck in the loop, we use either software watchdog timer or hardware watchdog timer to make the processor come out of the loop. Watchdog timer sets the timer and makes the processor come out of the loop. Another drawback is lack of real timeliness. Here, since there are many number of tasks, it needs more time for execution. Hence, there is a lack of real timeliness. The embedded operating system based approach. There are two types of operating systems. One is general purpose operating system, another one is real-time operating system. General purpose operating system based design is similar to the conventional PC based application development where the user applications run on the operating system. Making use of general purpose operating system eliminates the demarcation between the general purpose system and embedded system in terms of operating system. While developing a an application on top of the operating system, we use OS supported API. API is Application Programming Interface. Application Programming Interface is used by the other components to communicate with the embedded system. Driver software is used to communicate with the hardware components of the embedded system. When real-time response is required, we use real-time operating system. In real-time operating system, real-time kernel is responsible for preemptive multitasking, scheduler for scheduling tasks, multiple threads, etc. Real-time kernel means it is the main code of the operating system. It controls all the other code. Preemptive means assigning the required time for the tasks. Preemptive multitasking means many number of tasks are assigned the required time for their execution. Scheduler for scheduling the task. Scheduler schedules the task in sequence. That means which task should be executed when. Multiple threads. Thread is a piece of code. Multiple thread means it is the multiple portion of the code responsible for performing some action. Real-time operating system supports flexible scheduling in terms of memory and CPU. Memory and CPU utilization is scheduled properly. Embedded firmware development language. First one, assembly language based development. Assembly language based development is the human readable notation of machine language. Machine language is the processor understandable language. Assembly instructions are called mnemonics. Mnemonics are easily understandable by the human beings. Machine language is the interface between the processor and programmer. The assembly language written for one processor or controller cannot be used for other processor or controller. The device which converts assembly language to machine language, that is the machine understandable language, is called assembler. In olden days, many number of programs were written using assembly language. Now also low level and system related programs are related by assembly language. Assembly instructions contains opcode and operand. Opcode tells what functionality should be performed. Operand gives the data and information to the opcode, and opcode operates on data and information. Move A,30. This instruction will move the data 30 into the accumulator register A. Machine code for the above instruction is 01110100001110. Some of the opcode implicitly contain the operand. We need not to mention the operand explicitly. Example INCA. This instruction will increment the accumulator content by 1. Machine code for this is 00000100. The operand may be a single operand, dual operand, or more. Instruction for single operand is move A,30, where it is having only operand 30. For dual operand instruction, example is ljump 16-bit address. In this code, the pointer will jump to the address specified by the instruction, that is will jump there. Instructions are usually written one per line. The standard format of instruction is label, opcode, operand, comments. The advantage of mentioning label is we need not to remember the address, so we can mention the label and we can remember the label. And opcode. Opcode means in the instruction like move A, this is the opcode. Operand means mentioning any data after the opcode. Comments means in the instruction we should have enough number of comments. Consider a below subroutine. First instruction, move R0, #255. This will load the register R0 with 255. Then D, J and Z R1, delay. Decrement R1 and loop till R1 is equal to 0. Then return to the calling program. Here the label is mentioned as delay. For label, there is standard rules for mentioning the label. It should start with character and it can contain character, number and underscore. Usually the main routine starts with address 0000H. For the subroutine we use the label. Here the label used for subroutine is delay. We can call the subroutine by using the instruction lcall delay. This label is the starting reference point for any subroutine. We should use as many comments as possible at the beginning of the subroutine to tell what subroutine is doing. Consider the program org0100H. This is the assembler directive. It tells that the subroutine will start from this address. Move R0, 255. It will move the data 255 to R0. D, J and Z R1, 0100H. It will decrement R1 and loop until R1 becomes 0. Then RET. It will return to the program. During the assembling or compiling, the subroutine address is calculated. For the subroutine, two types of labeling can be done. Either it is by a label or directly mentioning the address. But there is one advantage in mentioning the label. If we mention the label, there is no chance of overlapping. If we mention the address, if the main code itself crosses that address, the subroutine code and the main program code will be overlapped. It is always safe to give the assembler to decide this task. That is, assembler should decide the address of the subroutine. Label is used for either calling the subroutine as well as for looping. Label can also be called by using the instruction ljump delay. This is the jump instruction. org0100H. This is the assembler directive. It tells that the program will start from this address, that is 0100H. Assembler directives are called sudops. Sudops are used for determining the start address of the program, that is org0000H, determining the entry address of the program, for example org0100H, then reserving memory for data variables, arrays and structures. Example var EQU70H, where the 70H is assigned to variable EQU. Then initializing variable values. Example, var data 20H, where 20H is initialized for the variable data. No machine codes are generated for pseudops. So far we discussed the programming using assembly instructions. Now we will discuss the organization of assembly language. The assembly programs are stored as .asm or .src file. Text editors used for programming are Notepad, WordPad and editors from Integrated Development Tool. Like C language or any other high-level language, assembly instructions are also having multiple files. This is called modular programming. In modular programming, the whole module is divided into sub-modules and it is easy to handle these sub-modules and it is easy to code, debug, etc. This is called modular programming. Conversion of an assembly language to machine language. In that, first is source file to object file translation. Here the source file is saved as .asm or .src file and it is assembled by the assembler. That means it is compiled for syntax errors etc. and the object file is created. Here the conversion of source file to object file translation is done by assembler. And this object file is given to the linker or locator. In this object file, the absolute address will not be there. Absolute address helps in locating the address where the code should be placed. This linker or locator will assign the absolute address and it will generate the absolute object file. And then it is given to the object to X file converter. This object to X file converter will generate machine code. This machine code is the processor understandable language. To the linker along with the object file, we also feed library files. To export a variable or function, it is written as public. To import a variable or function, it is written as extern. In one module, a variable or function is written as public. To import that variable or function in the another module, it is written as extern. Consider an illustrative example for A51 assembler. In this, three modules are used. That is asample1 dot A51, asample2 dot A51, asample3 dot A51. In asample1.a51 and asample2.a51, one function putchar is mentioned as public. Since the same function is mentioned as public in both the modules, in both the modules, the linker will throw an error, that is multiple public definition error. Illustrative example for A51 assembler. Consider three modules, that is asample1.a51, asample2.a51, asample3.a51. In this, in one module asample1.a51, function putchar is mentioned as extern, but in none of the other modules it is mentioned as public. So the linker will throw an unresolved external symbol error. Library file creation and usage. The whole program is divided into modules. Library file is the formatted and ordered program collections of object modules. While programming one program, that program will use only the library files those are required. It will not use all the library files. Library files are stored in .lib extension. Whenever we code main program, when we don't want the library file code to be exposed, we use just the library file name. And also whenever we are providing library file to the vendor, we provide the library files with only public information, that is the library file name and input output information. Whenever we want to use a library file in a program, we just insert a library file name to that program. Whenever we are using commercial version of the assembler or compiler, it also gives the additional add-ons such as multiplication code, floating point code, etc. lib51 from Keil Software is used for creating library files for the A51 assembler or C51 compiler for 8051 specific controller. Linker and locator. When multi-module project is considered, there are many modules and these modules can interact each other by variables or functions. For example, in one module, one function is written and this can be called in another module. Linker or locator links the various object modules in multi-module project and assigns absolute address to each module. Assigning absolute address means specifying the address where the code should be located. Linker converts the object file to the absolute object file. Assembler converts source file to object file. Linker eliminates the external dependency of the variables and functions. That means these variables and functions can be used among many modules. In absolute object file, there is absolute address and it specifies where the code should be placed. There is no relocated code in absolute object file. The place or the address where the code should be present is fixed. From the absolute object file, we create X file and this X file is processor or controller dependent. This X file representation of the machine code is dumped into the processor. BL51 from Keil Software is an example for a linker and locator for A51 assembler or C51 compiler for 8051 specific controller. Object to X file converter. This is the final stage in the conversion of the assembly language to machine understandable language. That means conversion from mnemonics to machine code. X file is the binary representation of the machine code and it is dumped into the processor. This X file is generated from the absolute object file. Different X file format for Intel processor or controller is Intel X and for Motorola is Motorola X. X files are the ASCII file representation of the machine code. These X files are created from the absolute object file by using a X file converter utility. Advantages of assembly language based development. Since developer is having information about the architecture and memory, we can write efficient code. In efficient code, there are less number of lines. Since there are less number of lines, we can use less code memory and less data memory. This is called memory optimization. Since we are writing optimum code, it consumes less memory and high performance can be achieved. Assembly language or low-level language can be used for accessing external device-specific register through operating system kernel and device driver and external interrupt routine. Operating system kernel means it is the main program. It can be used for controlling all other programs. Device driver means it is an external device connected to the computer, and in that device the computer program controls that device. uh, learning technical knowledge from the finished product is called code reverse engineering. Code reverse hackers uses code reverse engineering. Drawbacks of assembly language based development: high development time. It is difficult to develop the assembly language compared to the high level language. It is important to know more knowledge and to more knowledge about architecture, memory organization and register details in the assembly language based development. To know about the instructions and to know about the assembly language based product, it takes more time, so it impacts the delay in the product development. So solution for this is use the readily available product from the developer. To develop one functionality in assembly language, it requires more line, whereas in high level languages it requires less number of lines. Developer dependency. There are no rules for developing the assembly language. For developing the high level language, there are rules. In assembly level language, there is freedom to choose the different memory location and registers. Programming approach varies from developer to developer depending on his or her taste. For example, moving data from memory location to accumulator can be done in various methods. For any coding, proper documentation should be maintained, because whenever the code is given to the new user, he will understand the code with the help of documentation. It reduces developer dependency. But for the complex program, it cannot be done because the code is very large. Non-portable. Assembly language programming is dependent on the target application. That means assembly language programming written for one target processor or controller cannot be used for another target processor or controller. Whenever we change the target processor or controller, we need to rewrite the entire assembly language again. High level language based development. High level languages like C, C++ or Java are used, and this supports cross compilers. Cross compilers means code written for one platform can be used for another platform. Mostly used high level language is C because it is easy to use. Cross compilers for C++ is also available in the market. Steps in converting high level language to machine language. Here the high level languages used are C and C++, and the code is written in the extension .c and .cpp. Here the editors used are Notepad, WordPad and editors from Integrated Development Tool. And this source file is given to the cross compiler and it will convert it into as object file. Here the program is modularized. That means whole program is divided into sub-modules. This object file will not be having the absolute address, and these object files along with the library files are given to the linker or locator. And this linker or locator will generate absolute object file. In this absolute object file, there will be address. This address specifies where this code should be placed. And this absolute object file is converted to machine code using object to X file converter, and this machine code is dumped into the processor or controller. Advantages of high-level language-based development. There are many advantages in high-level language-based development. They are reduced development time. That means the time taken for the development of the product is minimum. Developer independency. That means application written using high-level language is independent of the developer. Then portability. Application written in high-level language is easy to port from one platform to another platform. Reduced development time. Developer requires minimum knowledge on the internal hardware details, architecture, memory organization, and register details of the target processor. And also you should have knowledge on the syntax of the high-level language. These are the prerequisites, and rest of the things cross-compiler will take care. By having the knowledge on the architecture, that is register and memory, it reduces the total product development time. Opportunity is given for the one person from the team of experts in the scope of embedded firmware development with the knowledge of the syntax of high-level language to know the minimum hardware details. It requires less number of code in the high-level language-based development to develop the same feature compared to the assembly language. Developer independency. It is easy to understand the code written in high-level language compared to the assembly language. Some instructions need to have knowledge of the hardware like memory and registers. Except this, high-level language-based development is developer independent. High-level language-based development is having set of rules in writing the code and in doing comments. This makes the code independent of the developer. Portability. High-level language is converted to machine code by using cross compilers, and this is dumped into the processor, and this is the processor understandable language. Conversion of application written in high-level language for a particular target processor to another target processor is done by little modification and recompiling it for the new target processor, and this will have a cross-compiler support. Hence, the portability is easy in high-level language-based development. Limitations of high-level language-based development. In high-level language-based development, some cross-compilers available may not be so efficient in generating optimized target processor specific instructions. Here the target processor means it is the processor for which the final machine code is dumped. Here, for these compilers, code size is also more and performance is also less. For example, machine code obtained for the task written in high-level language requires more length compared to the machine code obtained for the task written in assembly level language. Time required to execute a task increases with the number of instructions, and we use optimized techniques to improve the code size and performance. High-level language-based code is not so efficient in accessing low-level hardware, whereas hardware access timing is critical, that is in terms of microseconds and nanoseconds. Here, low-level hardware access means it is directly accessing the hardware device from the programming language. Investment in high-level language-based development is high compared to the investment for the low-level language-based development. Mixing assembly and high-level languages. There are three ways in mixing assembly and high-level languages. First one, mixing assembly language with high-level language, mixing high-level language with assembly, inline assembly programming. First one, mixing assembly with high-level language, assembly language with C. Consider whole program is written in C and we use small portion of the assembly language in the C language. This is mixing of assembly with high-level language. Consider the whole program is written in C and we are using a interrupt service routine which is written in assembly in the C language. This is because C language is not having a feature to implement this interrupt service routine in more efficient way. And this type of mixing takes the advantages of the speed and optimized code offered by machine code generated by assembly language. Accessing certain low-level hardware is time critical. The machine code generated by the cross compiler will not meet the timing specification. Mixing C and assembly is little complicated. Here the whole program is written in C and we call a assembly routine inside a C program. And when we call, we should be aware of how parameters should be passed from C code to the assembly code and how the value is written from assembly subroutine to the C. Passing values is cross-compiler dependent. There will not be any standard rules. There will be a documentation for the particular cross-compiler. One example can be taken, that is C51 cross-compiler. Mixing assembly with C can be better explained with this example. Call the assembly routine inside the C program and pass the necessary parameter from the C program to the assembly routine, and assembly routine should return a value from assembly routine to the C program. Use the src directive #pragma src. It will tell that the file generated is .src, not the .obj file. Then compile the C file. This will generate the assembly code for the whole C program written, and then rename the .src file to .a51 file. Then edit the .a51 file and add some more assembly code if required. We can easily identify the assembly code generated for each line of source code, and we can also identify the registers for holding the variables of the C function, and we can also modify the source code. Mixing high-level language with C. Example, C with assembly language. Here the whole program is written in assembly and inside that assembly C function is called. It is useful in the following scenarios. Include the function written in high-level language like C inside the assembly language. The benefits are optimized code, optimal performance, efficient code memory utilization, and also developer is having proven expertise in handling the assembly, etc. But some portions are difficult and tedious to program, such as 16-bit multiplication and division. It is helpful to include the built-in library functions, graphic library functions, and string operations developed in C. When writing C function, one should be aware of how parameters are passed and how the value is returned from the C function. Whenever we call a C function inside the assembly, one should be aware of how the parameters are passed from assembly code to the C function and how the return value is taken out from the C function to the assembly code. Parameters are passed using CPU registers, stack memory and fixed memory. And this implementation is cross-compiler dependent, and this implementation varies from one cross-compiler to the another cross-compiler. Inline assembly. Inline assembly means inserting the assembly instructions into any location of the source code of the source code written in high-level languages like C. This approach avoids delay in calling the assembly functions in the high-level language like C. Special keywords are used at the start and end of the assembly language, and they are cross-compiler specific. At the start of the assembly language, the keyword used is #pragma ASM, and at the end of the assembly language, the keyword used is #pragma end ASM. C versus embedded C. C is a well-structured, means the whole program is arranged in terms of functions in a well-defined manner. General purpose programming means it is used for general purpose application. And bit manipulation support means whenever a data bit stream is given, there are instructions to manipulate the bit in the data bit stream. C is a well-structured, well-defined and standardized general purpose programming with extensive bit manipulation support. C offers many features such as it is high-level language, that means it is easily understandable by the user. Hardware access programming, that means hardware can be directly controlled by programming. And business package development, it is used for business applications as well. ANSI, American National Standard Institute. The conventional C language follows American National Standard Institute standard, and it incorporates various library files for different operating systems. Platform specific application, that is compiler, is used for the conversion of programs written in C to the target processor specific binary file. So it is platform specific development. Embedded C. Embedded C is a subset of conventional C language. Embedded C supports all C instructions. Along with that, it also has few target processor specific functions or instructions. The library files of ANSI C is always wants to improvise its library files comparing to the library files of embedded C. Implementation of target processor or controller specific functions or instructions depends upon the cross compiler for the particular embedded C language. Software called cross compiler is used for the conversion of embedded C instruction to the target processor specific instructions. Compiler versus cross compiler. Compiler converts a high-level language written program on top of the operating system to machine code. Here, operating system, the compiler program and application making use of source code run on the same target processor. Compiler program means it is the conversion of high-level language to the machine language. Here the development is platform specific. That means for each platform there is a well-defined process. Compilers are termed as native compilers. Means here the machine code generated is for the same target processor on which the compiler is running. Cross compilers. Cross compilers are the software tools used in cross-platform development application. That means the program written for one platform can be used for another platform. The high-level language program written for one target processor or controller is converted to machine language for the another target processor or controller. One example is embedded system development. For the AMD or Intel processors, high-level language is written and then it is converted into machine language and it is machine language for the target processor or controller. The term compiler is always used interchangeable with cross compilers.